Hey, I'm Amelia. I'm the team leader and one of the programmers. Our topic is energy and environment, and our name is Bayleaf.
I want you all to start off just by imagining you're in this fantasy world. You're in a city and it's super polluted. You can't see anything. There's smoke everywhere. I want you all to take a deep breath. Yeah, that didn't feel very good, right? The problem is that this fantasy world you were just in, that's a reality. In Beijing, they have this problem. You cannot see anything. There's a lot of smoke. There's a lot of pollution. That's why we came up with this game that's supposed to educate people to not pollute the world as much. It's called Energy Clicker. Energy Clicker is a simulation game, and it's very simple. You're a manager of a lot of different energy machines, and you have to gain energy points by clicking on them. You also need to make sure that you do not pollute the world as much. But we will go much more into details into gameplay later on. So you click your way through the game, and you need to gain as much points as possible.
My name is Mads, and I was also one of the programmers. We decided to make the game more interesting for the players rather than just have to click on one object. So we decided to make a pollution meter, as Casper told, which shows how much pollution you make with the generators you also have. You can either use a wind turbine or a coal generator.
And on the other side, we have the plots where you can switch machines and buy more, where you can either buy the coal generators or the wind turbines, and then they will cost energy points, and then they will give you more energy points too.
Yeah, I'm Casper, by the way. I'm the one that's been making all the art, and also a game designer. We will see the game in action in just a moment. I'll just talk about the art a bit. This is our gameplay. This is our only screen in the game. We chose pixel art because we were very limited on time, and that seemed possible to do in the time we had. Also, we chose to make the game in a very bright tone. You were supposed to see this game and think, okay, I don't have a problem. I can chill with this game. You don't need to be there's not a lot of action going on. We only have one animation. That's the pollution bar. It's gonna fill up as you go. So bright colors that also it makes it more entertaining for maybe younger people to play the game. That's our main focus, to get younger people to play the game. And so that's why there's a lot of bright colors. And we wanted to get this chill tone in the game.
Yeah, I'm Victor. I was the guy fixing up some audio for the game. And as Casper said, we went with a really chill and relaxed game. And we picked music, background music, what's it called? Yeah, to match our genre. And that's
All right, I'm Rasmus, and I was also one of the programmers. Now, when we started developing this game, we had a lot of very good ideas, but some of them, because we were very limited on time, just became too complicated to manage to do. But we still want to show or talk about some of them to you guys, so you get an idea of what we wanted to have in this game. First of all, we wanted to integrate a weather system where the weather would change. Every time the weather would change, the player would have to adapt to these changes to gain more energy points. Let me give you an example. If it was cloudy and windy, you would definitely use a wind turbine instead of a solar panel. Yes. Second, we have upgrades. We wanted the player to be able to upgrade the different machines that gave you energy points. Also, we wanted the field that was on the right, you saw earlier, to be able to expand so you could put more machines onto the field and then again gain even more points. We wanted the machines as well to be able to malfunction, so that when it malfunctioned, you have to get back to the game and repair it, so you have to stay active in the game. That would be very good in an app, for example, because that way you would get a notification. You have to get back to the game, play it a bit, because it malfunctions because it does that in real life. So why not here as well? Yeah. I could just start off here as well. We had some different experiences with this course. I personally just learned how to program in Construct 2, so there's that for me. What about you guys?
Yeah. I've been doing a bit in Audacity back home, but I would really like to try and make my own sounds next time, but there's no next time.
I went with the art style. I went with I made in the game we made back at home. We were very limited in time, and I wanted to clean up a bit, but we got the main game objects done, so that's great.
Yeah, we already had some knowledge about the Construct 2 program, but we learned how to use the global variables a lot, especially with the energy points and the pollution meter.
Yeah, so let's play the game.
Oh yeah, this is the menu. You can either click on play or instructions. And the instructions are pretty simple. So is the game. You can either click on the wind turbine and gain 1 point each click, or you can click on the coal generator and get 3 points per click. So that is more efficient to get more points. But as you see, the pollution will also increase every time you click on the coal generator because it is unhealthy for the environment. And you will get an alert if you enter the red zone. Also, there are some consequences. If you are in the red zone for more than 5 seconds, or each fifth second, you will lose half of your energy points. And then we have the field over here, where you can buy machines. The environmental friendly machines, the wind turbines are more expensive, and the coal generators are half the price. And you can place it on the field, and then they will help you generate points, so you don't have to click all the time. But they will also have the same effect on the pollution meter, where the coal generators will slowly increase the pollution, but the wind turbine will help it decrease again. So you can find a pretty good balance between them. Yeah, the sweet spot.
Yeah.
Questions?
Yeah, you all got any questions for us? Questions.
So, obviously what you're trying to do, I believe, is to educate people between the difference between wind and coal and how it affects the environment. What do you think the takeaway is in best case for the kids that are playing it? What do you think they're going to ideally learn?
We hope to make the kids learn that they need to be aware that coal generators and maybe nuclear power or something, that's bad for the environment. So we wanted to present them other options such as windmills, wind turbines, or solar panels, to show them that there's also this, and we have this meter going on, so they will know, okay, if we use these instead of these,
Right.
that the pollution will not be as.
So it's really the effect of generating energy and how it affects the environment.
Yes.
Okay.
Were you planning on showing some of the pictures to the students? Because that first picture of, Beijing being completely covered in smog was very impactful. So at some point when you got your energy or your bar into red, were you going to show them like, oh, this is what you did to the environment?
We haven't really talked about that, but I guess if children play this, they maybe don't want that. They just want a simple game that they can chill in. They don't want to see all this. Yeah, I don't know. You want?
They would totally be more aware of it, I think, and it would be a really strong effect, I believe, to put pictures in like that, because this doesn't show reality. It's just a game. So.
Have you thought about changing the background? Because right now it's like this bright blue sky with happy clouds and a really bright sun. But like as the pollution meter goes up, did y'all talk about maybe
Yeah, we
making
talked
it
about maybe
darker,
changing the
smokier? less.
We talked about some weather system. The weather would change, and also if you polluted too much, maybe they could slowly fill up with smoke or something like that. So yeah, that would also help the fact that you could see that you're actually polluting the world if you keep on going into the red part of the meter, right? So yeah, we've thought of that too. Yeah.
So what makes you think children like a chill game? Because I've met a lot of kids and none of them are chill.
Oh yeah, that's true. We're also thinking maybe just a game where you can turn off your brain. You don't need to sit down and read a bunch of stuff about this subject you don't really care about. It's easy fun, right? You don't have to put a lot of thought into this. You just click away. Okay, it goes into red. I need to figure out some way to get it down to the green zone again. Does that answer your question?
I think it might have been interesting to see because like actual business owners have to deal with competition and keeping their business going. So including some sort of like this sort of hurts your idea of having a chill game, but some sort of maybe time pressure or competition with other business owners to sort of give you more of like a clear goal and introduce more of that decision making. Because I think the system that you have here is really simple and does communicate the idea really well of, hey, this works better, but it's worse for the environment. So I think just adding those gameplay elements would sort of drive that home a little bit more.
Yeah. We also thought about, Farmville. You can check each other's farms. Maybe you should be able to check each other's fields and see how they do it, and see how many points they get, and you can associate that, right?
So if you have a whole bunch of wind turbines and everything's green in your world, and you're just racking up energy points, is there anything that's going to cause you to lose, such as they break down? And
yeah, we
like I mentioned the things that we wanted to be in there, having the machines to malfunction, so that you have to get back and repair them and stay active in the game. So.
Also, that the coal generators more bad energy generators, they produce more points. So if you want to compete with your friends and who has the most points, you would have to go to those other options, because or else you wouldn't get up there. But you just need to stay away from the red field, right? So of course, yeah, you could just put a bunch of windmills and you could just let it sit for a long time, but you wouldn't get as many points as if you had other. I don't know why it's not going into the green right now, by the way, but yeah, it bugs out.
Well, one thing I'm noticing is that, you're just creating energy, but not like for a specific city with a specific amount of usage, for example. Austin is trying to, move into more wind and more nuclear power and things like that, and we get when we get our bills, there's like a little notice in there that says where all this electricity came from, right? But I'm noticing that as you're playing, you're putting nothing but windmills up there, right? So it's like, and I think I would do the same thing, but I'm not seeing why. I mean, what kind of problems is it? I mean, you guys mentioned that it's a very low energy yield from the windmills. At some point, there has to be some type of balance. So like, okay, this city needs 800 kilowatts per second, and this other city doesn't need so much. They may be able to survive only on windmills. And I've seen some places that say that they do that, or communities. So I think that would be an interesting thing to have to balance, because right now I'm just like, yep, windmills.
Yeah, maybe you get a message from the state that you have to produce this much energy, or else
right, or there's just that need, right? Because there's a certain number of businesses and things like that get attracted to a town that need tons of that energy. So, and then of course every city doesn't have enough wind, that could be used.
I think we're out of time.
I was just going to say that in addition to that, that could play into your game fields as well. So like larger cities with more need, you can have larger game fields, smaller cities, that sort of stuff. You could really play with the balance.
Okay, thank you for having us. That was our presentation.
Yeah.